Hello and welcome back to P Academy. So this is a continuation on our video series under resistor. So right now what we want to talk about is resistor color coding. Alright, so now let's get into it. Now with what you have on the screen is just like a drawing of a resistor. Now once you come across a resistor, this is just how it will look like. You'll notice that there are colors on it. So you find one color, second color, third color, and then you find another one that is far away from it towards the end of the resistor. So this is how it looks like. Now, how do you now know the value of this resistor? That's what we are going to be talking about. Now, if you look at this diagram that you are seeing here, so this is how the real thing, how it will look like. This is how the resistor will look like. You see the first color, the second color, the third color, and then you see another value that is far away from these three. You see it towards the other end of it. So these colors are what will help you to know what's the actual value of that resistor is it. So how do you go ahead to determine the value of this resistor? So now let's look at it. Now this is what you do. If we take this now, so let's represent this as A. So let's call this B, let's call this C, and let's call this D. So this one that I labeled D is always referred to as the tolerance. So we call it the tolerance. Now, if you now know the value of, if you are able to identify these different colors, exactly, we're going to look at it real quick. So putting them together, you are going to be having AB times 10 raised to power C plus or minus D. Exactly. So this is how you know the value of a resistor. So let me put it here. The value of a resistor so is equals to AB. So this AB is not A times B. We are going to look at an example. So now let's scroll down. Now you see these are the different colors that you find on the body of the resistor. The ones we are having here are the different colors: black, brown, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, gray. So let's gray and white, exactly. So this point here, I hope you can see it. So this point, gray and white. So just leave that gold and silver. We are going to talk about it. So those are the 10 color. I think they are 10. So some use different way to try to remember them. Black beetle running on your garden brings very good weather. Or some can say, they are just different acronyms to remember some of these things, but I'm not going to be going into it. All right. So now with what we have here, how can we use it to determine the value of a resistor? Like I said, so this is black, the value is 0, brown is 1, red is 2, orange is 3, yellow is 4, green is 5, blue is 6, violet is 7, gray is 8, white is 9. Are we good? Now, using this resistor that we have on screen now, if you are to use the color code to determine that what is the value of this resistor, how do we go about it? So now let's use that as an example. Now let's come back here to write out this let's call this formula that we have here that will help you to determine the value of a resistor. Don't forget, I said this first band here, we represent it with A, the second one we represent it with B, the third one we represent it with C. Now the one that is far away from it, which is the tolerance, represented with D, and we said we are going to use AB times 10 raised to power C plus or minus D. So now let's use that to determine the value of this particular resistor. So we said it is AB times 10 raised to power C times 10 raised to power C plus or minus D. Okay, so now for you to put this together now, the A, so that means from this now, this one that is green, you can see they wrote its first band. So now let's go to the chart and see what green is. You can see for green, this is green here. So you can see that it is 5. So what you do, you come here, you put 5. Now for the second band, which is B, you can see that it is color red. You can see from the chart. So if you trace it on the chart, color red is 2. So what you do is that will be 5, 2. Exactly. So not 5 times 2. You have to take note of that. Not 5 times 2. So the next thing you are going to be having is going to be times 10 raised to power. Now the third band here, if this is it, is color blue. So now let's go to the chart and trace out blue. So if you look at it, this is color blue. So you can see that color blue is 6. That will be 10 raised to power 6. Then plus or minus. Now let's look at the fourth color. Now like I said here, I said The fourth color that is far away from the other three, we call it tolerance, which is D. So now let's come here. So if you look at this, we are having the color to be gold. So if you also look at on the chart, on this particular column, we have it written at the top that it is the tolerance. Very good. Okay, so the tolerance, so since it is gold and this is gold here, you can see that gold is having plus or minus 5. So plus or minus 5%. Okay, so what this actually means is that the value of this particular resistor that we are seeing on screen, this one here, is 52 times 10 raised to the power 6 plus or minus 5%. So now let's calculate that plus or minus 5%. So what we do is let's calculate for 5% of 52 times 10 raised to the power 6. So that will be 5 over 100. So that's 5% over 100% times 52 times 10 raised to the power 6. Are we good? So this can cancel this. So if you type all these things in if you use your calculator, you're going to be getting your answer to be 2.6 times 10 raised to the power 6. Okay. So don't forget the unit. The unit is in ohms. Okay. So now that it's saying that this is the value of the resistor, 52 times 10 raised to the power 6 plus or minus 5%. So now that we've gotten that value of that 5% to be this, so that means our resistor value will be 52 times 10 raised to the power 6 plus 2.6 times 10 raised to the power 6. So we are going to get the value of this. Also, we are going to calculate 52 times 10 raised to the power 6 minus 2.6 times 10 raised to the power 6. Okay, so now let's get that. Alright, so if you put that in your calculator, you are going to get, if you add it up, you are going to get 52.6 times 10 raised to the power 6 ohms and 49.4 times 10 raised to the power 6 ohms. So let's just put it in. So this one now we can also write it as 54.6 mega ohms. So the M should be in capital letter. And then why this? So we can write it as 49.4 mega ohms. Are we good? So now what's the meaning of this now? So that means this particular resistor, the value of this resistor ranges from 49.4 mega ohms to 54.6 mega ohms. Now the interpretation of this is that if you need a particular resistor within this value, exactly, if you need a resistor within this value, you can simply use this resistor with this color band. Exactly. So that means, for instance, if you are performing an experiment and you need a resistor of 50 mega ohms or 52 mega ohms or even 54 mega ohms, you can see. So that means if you need any resistor value within what we are having here, that means you can easily use this particular resistor that we have here with this color band. Exactly. So that's actually the meaning, and that is how you can calculate the value of a particular resistor using the color code. And one thing I also want you to note is that this color code, exactly, try to know it offhand, because especially if you're a beginner in electrical and you're doing practical, as time goes on, you'll be doing some practicals and then you'll be coming across resistor all the time. So it's not all the time. You might just have to, start calculating. There are some colors that you might need to know offhand. Exactly. So maybe when you see red and a particular color, red brown or red black, exactly, then gold and silver, as time goes on, you might just try to get yourself familiar with all those things. But more importantly, just know how to get it. Exactly. Just remember this particular formula. Once you know the first band in the color, you know the digits for the color, for the first color, you put it together with the second color. Don't multiply it, please. Some people used to make that mistake. Don't multiply it. Like I explained here, for this first color, which is green now, it is 5. The second color, which is red, is 2. So don't do the mistake of multiplying it. Just write them side by side. Multiply by 10 raised to power the value of the third color, then plus or minus the color that is far away from it, which is the tolerance, and then you do your calculation. So that will give you the range of value of that particular resistor. And like I said earlier, the range of value of that particular resistor is telling you that, okay, this resistor within this resistor can serve the purpose from this range to this range, like I explained here. Are we good? Alright, so that is it on this particular video on resistor color coding. So in the next part, we're going to be looking at resistor polarity and then resistor connection. Exactly. So I hope you find value in this. If you do, please give it a thumbs up and click on that subscribe button. If you are yet to, please click on that subscribe button to subscribe. And if you have any question or any comment, just let me know in the comment section below. And with that, I'll see you all in the next video.